What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. I was trying to get my life together. What is that in the back seat? Oh, that's something across the street. That's hilarious. I thought that was something in the back seat, hanging over the thing. All right, so what's going on, y'all? Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. Just dropped off boys at the bus stop. Come on. Let me out. Come on. Be nice. We're in front of a school. Act like you got some damn sense. I know you motherfuckers like to drive like you ain't got no damn sense. In front of a school, at least act like you got some damn sense. Motherfucker. Let me tell y'all yesterday. After I finished recording yesterday, I ended up cussing this lady out who flipped me off. I pulled up on the side of her and cussed her out, and she told me she flipped me off because I didn't let her over. Bitch, you was behind me. How the fuck are you behind me and I'm supposed to watch where the fuck you going? Girl, if you don't get your ass, I call her all kind of whores. That's so bad. Y'all missed it. I'm so shamed. I am so shamed. She flipped me off and got to a light. The beloved red light. I said, oh, do you have something to say? Well, you cut me off. You saw me trying to get over. I said, bitch, I'm in front of you. How the fuck am I supposed to watch you with your stupid ass? Oh, I called her all kind of stupid asses, whores and everything. She was just looking at me crazy. I was waiting. She was looking at me, and I was waiting. I was like, say something stupid. Say something stupid. You saw me get over. You don't know how to drive. You saw me trying to get over. I said, bitch, come on now. You behind me. I'm supposed to watch you drive? Like, that's the entitlement these motherfuckers feel like that they have. Trying to let you. That doesn't even make sense. I'm going forward. I'm going forward. If you in front of me and trying to get over, I can see like, bitch, you saw me trying to get over, but you behind me, you come from behind me and flip me off. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. What you flipping me off about? What I do to you? So when we got to the beloved red light, I said, bitch, you got something to say? She rolled her window down. She told me I didn't know how to drive. I said, bitch. I said, ooh, I had just finished recording too. I said, y'all would have caught. Well, y'all wouldn't have caught that. I was afterwards. I was like, I shouldn't have cut. She was an older white lady, but still, don't tell me I don't know how to drive, bitch. You know I feel bad after cussing somebody out, but it depends. But she flipped me off, but I guess she figured she won't do it again. Don't do that. First of all, you don't know what people are going through. I mean, I flip people off too. But you have to understand what's going on. You got to see the scene before you start flipping people off. Just in case a motherfucker decides that they having a bad day and decide that they want to follow you all the way to work. And then I was thinking to myself, what if this person works in the building I work in? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. We got off on the same exit. I don't know if she got off trying to get away, but we got off on the same exit. I was like, oh, if she works in my business, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I cussed you out. But how the fuck am I supposed to watch you from the back and you pass me and flip me off? What? What'd I do? You wasn't even over here. You saw me trying to get over. Nah, ho, you was behind me. Even though I know y'all see me, I stay looking behind me. Anyway, speaking of looking behind you, 50 Cent, you got a case against the NYPD, baby. As a black man living in America, y'all already walk around with PTSD. Black folks in America, period, walk around with the anxiety whenever there is a cop around, see a cop, because they could decide they're having a bad day and fuck your whole day up. Isn't that crazy that it's a group of people that we pay to enforce laws and they don't do nothing but fuck with people? Like, I don't say do nothing but you know what I'm saying. You understand where I'm coming from. And I'm like, this Emmanuel Gonzalez, an NYPD commander. I talked about it the other day. I don't know if you caught it. It was a lot of things I talked about on Monday. But there are several police officers who can confirm that this commander said when they see 50 Cent to shoot him on site, quote unquote, on site. Now this is coming out, a black man being told that police, a cop, a commander, has instructed them to shoot him. Honey, I would sue him. I would sue the city of New York, baby. What? I can't even walk around this motherfucker because I don't know. Talking about it was a joke. You don't joke like that. Not with a black person in America. A black man in America. You don't joke like that. And you know, I would assume that 50 Cent already suffers from some kind of PTSD from his past. I'm sure he's going through a lot of mental anguish, okay? Okay? I would sue the fuck out of New York City. Honey, baby, please. What? He made a statement this morning, said, I'm going to get my lawyers. I'm going to see how serious this threat is. I feel like I need to close my businesses in New York, and I might need to sue the city. You got a representative up here that, you know, I've always said that the Fraternal Order of the Police has an executive order to eliminate and terminate any black person they come in contact with. I wholeheartedly believe that. I just do. And hopefully he can see, hopefully that works out in his favor, because you just don't. And he must be an asshole, because if other cops are telling on you, this happened during a meeting, and they're going back and letting them know, like, nigga, they said to shoot your ass on sight. At least somebody now we can say at least there's some little people in there. We know that there are cops who are not as bad as the bad cops. We know that. And shout out to whoever told him, because anything, and they're so corrupt, anything. And also, speaking of corrupt crime organizations, Chicago PD has said that the tip that came that said, you know, against Jussie and his situation, that their tip that they found was unfounded. I'm like, Chicago PD, y'all need to shut the fuck up until y'all get your evidence and your facts together, supported with evidence. I don't want to hear nothing about we think or we have a possible. No, y'all too messy. And his lawyers keep coming back. Justice lawyers keep coming back saying he didn't fake this. And it's really, really hard to talk about it, because it's like, are we believing these brothers that just walked into this room and told them, well, no, we didn't set him up, he paid us? We didn't set him up, he paid us. And y'all automatically believe the story against the victim. I just think it's like, this is what a lot of women go through when they decide to come forth and say they've been attacked or raped or anything like that. This is the response that they get. That's why I think it's difficult for a lot of people to say out of their mouths that Jussie is lying, because we have seen so many women have this experience and know that they're telling the truth, and it's always the man has the last word, and his word is more important than the woman's. And I think that's why a lot of people are just like, blaming the victim is just really, really bad. And that is why, because if the story is fake, it makes it so difficult for people that have had these experiences and haven't told anybody to actually come out and say something. It's really detrimental to what folks are trying to encourage nowadays, you know, in coming forth. But I've noticed that so many people are just like, he lied. And then the thing coming out that lead, like, I tell you, goddamn it, are y'all coming up with a goddamn murder mystery series or fucking investigative story series? Because I swear this is a damn episode of Clue. We're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Now they're saying Lee Daniels set his ass up, or the letter that he received wasn't taken seriously. Is this an elaborate hoax, like, for the show? Would Lee Daniels, is Lee Daniels of that character that he would set Jussie up, or him and Jussie would come up with this plan to, like, to me, the possibility of a hoax sounds more outlandish than the actual hate crime being real. Like, even with all of the inconsistencies, not even inconsistencies, just the odd circumstances, it's like, okay, is this real? Like, are you playing? But from the beginning, him saying that he was out at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's gay, so everybody automatically equates your being gay with, okay, you out at 2 o'clock in the morning, you out trying to find some dick. Like, you know, if it was a woman out at 2 o'clock in the morning, she would be told, what were you doing out at 2 o'clock in the morning? You know? I think that's why a lot of people just don't really want to say, like, Jussie what. And I am personally conflicted, because you're thinking, and then that's what I was reading something about, you know, him possibly being this narcissist, right? And actors being narcissists and being so far gone that you want so much attention that you would actually fake a hate crime against you, using the two major things that trigger people in our society today. That's like an extreme narcissist, and somebody, Meghan McCain, called him a sociopath. Like, if this is true, he's a sociopath. Well, if it's not true, then he's not. Like, like, you're just gonna slap this label on. If evidence comes back to say that this is a hoax, we're gonna label him a sociopath. But if it comes back saying he's true, oh my God, I feel so sorry for you. This is so crazy how we are. I was watching Eric Dyson on The Breakfast Club, and if you haven't watched it, I posted it yesterday to my feed on YouTube so y'all can know that I was gonna watch it. And like I said, you got to get your thesaurus out when Professor Dyson is on the Breakfast Club or anywhere else getting somebody together. He is a lot of people don't like him. I don't find anything wrong. Like I don't agree with everything that he says, but I don't find anything wrong with the majority of what he's saying. I think he holds people accountable. I love his word usage. Like I said, I be having to get out a damn thesaurus fucking with Professor Dyson, because just his word usage is very poetic, like really poetic. He has the ability to use words that have the same letter, starting with the same letter, so that it kind of has a ring to it, and you kind of remember what he says. Just the way that he speaks, I like the way that he speaks. But what he was speaking about was a lot of different things. He was kind of promoting, he wrote an essay for this book about Beyonce, and how Beyonce is a critical piece in our culture in terms of the way that music is, and saying that she took the crown from Michael Jackson. Even though now that's something that I do not agree with. Michael Jackson, somebody was like, Michael Jackson, they have never seen anybody faint for for Beyonce. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm sure like these young kids that go see her get so overwhelmed with excitement that they probably do pass out. I'm going to tell you, I have to drink some water. But we have seen people pass out for the not even just Michael Jackson, but for the Jacksons. What is that in the street? And he was just saying that she was the queen, or that she took the crown from Michael Jackson, which I just don't agree. I believe that both of them are the king and queen of this entertainment thing, and that Beyonce has changed the game a lot, and how Beyonce is really, you know, in terms of our culture, putting a stamp on her legacy based on just how she puts out music, how she brings her blackness into spaces and arenas that would not, like talking about the Louvre and talking about Beychella and talking about all of those things and her influence with that, which I agree with all that, but taking the crown from Michael, you done gone too far with that. But then they started talking about Michael Jackson documentary that's coming out with Wade Robson and the other guy. I don't know the other guy's name. I just know that it was Wade, and they were talking about how our heroes have flaws and how the cancel culture doesn't allow for nuance. It doesn't allow for, it's very, I've always said it's very binary. It's either or, and if it's not either or, then you're canceled. You're out of here. You gotta go. There's no room for nuance, right? And how we have to discuss nuances of different things, and everything is not so binary. Everything is not so black and white. And that the cancel, his opinion is that the cancel culture is a remnant of white nationalist thinking. I hate the words white supremacy together, but so that you can understand that that's what he said, because in that idea, in their ideas, there's zero tolerance. You know, we don't believe black people. Anything you say, we don't believe you. If we say you did it, you did it. Just like all of these different things, like the no tolerance for blackness is how we are exercising the cancel culture, the canceling people, not giving them any room to be human and to actually make mistakes, and not removing people from jobs based on an allegation with unfounded support or documentation to say that this person did what they did. Like saying that, like he used Aziz Ansari's case, where the woman is describing a situation with him, a bad sexual experience with him, that at first she was okay with it, and then coming out saying that she wasn't, and then even him saying seeing that everything was okay with her, but her by saying that, maybe she had buyer's remorse. This is what he's saying, that she had buyer's remorse, and now it's coming out and saying this was my experience with Aziz Ansari. It's kind of weird and blah blah blah, and now he's canceled. It's like, wait a minute, like you have to, in terms of human relations and how people deal with each other, there has to be some nuance. And the way that he explained it, I agreed. I was just like, you have a point. I agree, because a lot of the times I do say that we are so binary with our tolerance, and we don't allow any room for nuance. I always say, what is the impact of this person's behavior? Okay, like for instance, saying that everything that was okay in the 80s and 90s, everything that was socially acceptable, is no longer. A lot of those things, a lot of the way we talk about things, we don't talk like that anymore. We don't say things, any different words anymore. Our awareness has made us, in essence, more sensitive and also intolerant. And by saying, it's by holding people accountable for things that were socially acceptable 15, 20 years ago, and then talking about it now and holding them accountable today for the actions that were socially acceptable 15 to 20 years ago, that isn't fair. Like going back and finding tweets. Everybody, we have to allow people to grow. We always say that we have to look at patterns of behavior. And we also always say that we have to allow for redemption. Let people redeem themselves. Allow them to redeem themselves, And I think will be more like, will be, I don't want to say tolerant is the word, but more understanding. And understanding, like yesterday, Karl Lagerfeld died. And Karl Lagerfeld is an icon. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't give a damn if 15 years ago he said somebody was fat. That was okay in the fashion industry 15 years ago, 20 years ago. But you are talking about this man in death as if he made a negative impact to the fashion industry, or he made a negative impact to somebody's lives. He had ideas that were acceptable within the fashion industry where we only deal with skinny models. Yes, it's wrong, but in the industry, it was socially acceptable. Were there some people in the fashion industry that were going against that? Yes, there were. Were they visible? No, they were not. Why? You can't put fat girls, I don't care. You can't put fat girls on a runway. Not in 1982. Not in 1985. You're not doing that. Now you can. You can put big girls because we are now more aware and accepting of that and want to celebrate that more to make people feel okay. We are including people in that sense. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for somebody to say Karl Lagerfeld in his death, are all of these things are kind of held up ideas that were socially acceptable 20, 25 years ago. Now we're holding him to our knowledge of today and calling him all of these awful things in his death. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Martin Luther King fucking cheated on his wife. Malcolm X was a pimp. Like, come on. Allow people to redeem themselves. To me, I always say, go back and watch my videos. We need to watch for patterns of behavior, and do those behaviors have a negative impact on our community? Right? Okay. I think I'm done talking about that. I think I got an idea. I'm not trying to get riled up. The little kid from Covington Catholic School, Covington Catholic cult, Nick Sandmann, his parents are suing. They have filed a lawsuit against the Washington Post, of all people, the Washington Post, for $250 million for defamation and the characterization of him being a racist. Will you get in your own lane, Impala? Nigga, what are you doing over here? You was in the front seat with me. And so they're suing the Washington Post. I don't know how that's going to turn out for them. You know, he's a little white kid in America, a white boy in America. Ain't no telling. They might get a judgment. They might. You could just never tell. This world is fucking crazy. You just can never tell. $250 million against the Washington Post. Why? Because he may run for Supreme Court in 40 years, and we don't want this to come back to say he was a racist standing in the face of a Native American and taunting him and looking. $250 million, y'all, it's a reach. What are you doing? Like, whatever. They feel like I said, they're the type of people that expect you, when you driving behind them, to see them coming. Like, you need to be aware of what's going on behind you so that you can let me over when I want to get over. I'm going to sue you for defamation, for mischaracterizing me as a fucking racist. This lady is on her phone, like really on her phone. Oh, are you guys watching Boomerang on BET? I've watched the first 2 episodes. Tried to watch episode 3 last night. The stream wasn't ready. Boomerang on BET. Lena Waithe of actually Master of None. She's also in a few movies. She's a writer. You guys know who Lena Waithe is. Holly Berry is also an executive producer. Shout out to Holly Berry. We just mentioned her the other day. But she's executive producing this show. It's based on the characters from the movie that Eddie Murphy wrote, Boomerang. And they are young black professionals working at an ad agency. I love the soundtrack. I love the characters, who they are, I'm still trying to get to know the characters. The one that stands out to me is Ari, who is the bisexual black male. They are in Atlanta, and the main girl, I don't know her name, Tianta, I want to say that's what her name is, but she is very eerie for me because she looks so much like Left Eye. loved Left Eye. And so when I look at her, I really I feel like I'm looking at Lisa. Like I feel like I'm looking at her. Those doe eyes that girl has and those bangs going straight across, all Lisa Left Eye Lopez. But the characters are cute. The girl, I don't know all of the characters' names. I'm getting to know the characters. I love the soundtrack. I want them to be a little bit more comfortable. That's really hard for me to, it's really difficult for me to review or to talk about scripted television shows because the behaviors aren't real as opposed to the behaviors on reality TV. Now, I know you're probably like, Erica, that's not real either. Okay, but we can say that those situations are contrived, but reactions to those situations, we can discuss reactions and behaviors, right? One thing I do like about the show is I love the fact that they are younger black professionals. I love the fact that the soundtrack is kind of 90s inspired soundtrack, which is really cute. What else? What else do I like? What else do I like? I think we could review this. I think we could review Boomerang on BET. I think we can. I'm gonna watch the 3rd episode tonight, and we could talk about it. Let me know if you've already watched it, what you think about it so far. I think it's cute. Somebody was complaining about the film that they're filming on and saying that it looks kind of older, but they are using a film that's doesn't look high definition, we should say. Which I assume that it's intentional, but I do love the soundtrack. I do love that the characters they're going to delve into the characters' personalities and how they're dealing with like the female lead. I like when I said looks like Left Eye. Her father is Marcus Graham. Marcus Graham, that was Eddie Murphy's character, and she's his daughter. She worked at the ad agency and she quit or was fired, and her aunt, I want to say that's her aunt, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm still trying to get it together, is kind of the head of the ad agency, but they want to bring kind of the younger adults want to bring forth kind of this young energy to the ad agency. Lala, the girl from Lala Milan, I don't know how else to describe her, but she's on YouTube, on Vine. I didn't realize how tall Lala was. They were walking down the street and I was like, damn, she's tall. She's really doing well. And I'm thinking, and I could not help, and I don't like to necessarily do this, but I could not help to think about Just Hilarious on Lil Rel's show. And then also think about Lala at the same time. And like they kind of came from the internet, very popular on the internet, and then now are moving into television, and I think it's wonderful. I'm so proud of Lala. I would like when you see those people on Instagram and how they started, and then you see them on a television show or a movie or something, you feel proud of them because that's the reason why they were making these little short films. They want to be on television, and now you got your opportunity. You got you a good agent. Now you're on this television show that's executive produced by Lena Waithe. Like what? And then fucking and Halle Berry. Like that's your first show. Kudos to you, Lala. Shout out to Lala. I didn't know she plays a stripper. But I love that like the kid, the group of friends have like history, and they're kind of gonna get into that. So like I said, I haven't watched episode 3 yet, so we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. I don't even know does it come on what was yesterday? Tuesday? So I guess it comes on Tuesday because I feel like people were talking about it yesterday. So we'll talk about it. Anyways, what else did I want to talk about? Jussie Smollett's coming back to Showtime. Was that yes? No, it's on the 20-something. I want them to come back so badly. I keep saying, oh, they're supposed to come back on the 18th. They're supposed to come back on the 12th. They're supposed to come back, and I think it's the 21st that they're actually coming back. And who else? Bernie Sanders said he's deciding to run for president for 2020. Y'all, it's a lot of people. Y'all, we got a lot of work to do. Oh, like what Eric Dyson said about Kamala Harris. Kamala, how honey, Kamala. How are we pronouncing her name? Kamala. Okay, y'all know who I'm talking about. How her blackness is being questioned, and how like that's the first thing we start questioning about people, and how that determines how well we're going to be received and the understanding. If you're not fully black, you don't understand the black experience, which I think is like, it's sketchy to say that to people. But I like the way that he said, you can't question her blackness, maybe question her ideologies. But then you could say at the same time, your ideologies are because you have these ideologies because you are not black, or you don't understand the black experience. Therefore, your ideologies towards black people or the treatment of black people is problematic. So I did like the way that he said that, but like I said, you can come back with an argument saying you have these ideologies because of this. Anyways, I'm here. I'm sorry. I don't know if I had anything else to talk about. Bernie Sanders, Boomerang. Oh, how do you determine what is the main thing? What are the three main things that you look for when deciding what candidate you want to support? What are the three main things you look for? Just three main things that you look for, because I always want to know, like, if it's going to be, like, say it's going to be Kamala and Donald Trump. Let's just say, because you don't feel like she's fully black or doesn't understand the black experience, are you not going to vote for her and allow him to have another term? Or I saw somebody say, well, we know who he is and we know where he's coming from, and you can't really, you don't know who she is or where she's coming from, but you do know who she is and who she's coming from. She is a politician, so she does have a track record. Donald Trump does not have a track record of being a politician. Like, and that's what I was talking to somebody else yesterday about con men. Like, he was able to get in as a con man, but he would have been, I mean, it means nothing now, but it would have been better for him to have, like, I really believe that one of the requirements to run for the president of the United States should be that you have had some civil service, you've served in the military, or you've served in some type of government position, right? I believe that helps being a politician, is to have been involved in politics, not just business. But anyways, that's my time. Let me know what three things you look for in a candidate, and what is the most important things for you. And if you are referring to a black agenda, what does that look like? What does a black agenda look like? Okay. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care of each other, protect your energy, and I'll see you in the comments. Peace.